What's good, guys? It is Ace here with a props video, and just want to show you guys yesterday's record. We went 8-1 yesterday, so 88-89%. We went 2-0 on PrizePicks. We cashed Mountain 21.5 PRA. That was super easy. And then Scotty Barnes, we also cashed his PRA, which was super close. But luckily he cashed. It was gonna be a blowout. It was a blowout. So he almost didn't cash because of that, but he did end up cashing. So yeah, we're on a 75% run right now. We've been killing PrizePicks. We've been killing Chalkboard alt lines. So if you want to get the picks, you got to get in the Discord. $15 a month if you want a free trial. I've been doing 10-day free trials for people who want to just try it out, see how it is, see if it's legit. So if you want a 10-day free trial, comment down below. I got you guys. But for today, we got I think it's like 7 games on today. We got 8 games slate. So we got eight games. Let's get right into the video. So first pick is going to be Curry 4.5 threes for PrizePicks. So Curry is taking on the Miami Heat. Currently, this game has a 2.5 point spread with an over-under of 227. So Vegas is expecting this game to be down to the wire, competitive game. I think Butler is going to come back. Pretty sure he's coming back. So this game should be down to the wire. And so let's look at Curry threes. Without Draymond specifically, and at home, Curry's killed this line. He's over in 6 out of 8 games at home. Averaging 5.4 threes per game this season at home without Draymond. So great hit rate. He didn't hit versus Portland, but he's been killing this line. He had 8 versus Washington in 27 minutes, which is very crazy. And he's taken on the Heat here, which I want to show you guys. Last 30 days, the Heat have allowed the second most threes to point guards. So imagine what Curry's going to do. Second most threes to point guards. And then I wanted to show you guys, Curry should be matched up with Kyle Lowry for a lot of this game. And Kyle Lowry is allowing 40% three-point percentage against threes in the month of December. And they might throw a bunch of guys at Curry, but Curry's Curry. He's going to get his. Point guards have gone crazy versus the Heat with threes, as I've shown before. Trae Young had 7. I took Trae's threes prop against Miami too for the same reasoning, and he had 7. He went crazy. Conley had 4 recently. Rozier had 5 and 8 back-to-back games against them. So point guards have just been killing them beyond the arc, and Curry's hit rate has been great. Love this line. I think you could get this at even odds on sportsbooks right now. Curry is currently even odds on DraftKings, and so I would definitely take that. I love that prop a lot. Second prop we're going to get into is this one, Simons. I like 30.5 PR on Underdog, which is Underdog currently has his PR at 30.5, but on PrizePicks is at 31.5. So for PrizePicks, I'm going to be taking Simons 27.5 points. So DeAndre Ayton and Shaedon Sharpe have both been ruled out for this matchup against the Spurs. So let's look at Simon's games without Shaedon Sharpe this season. So currently he has a game with 41 points versus the Wizards. He had 25 against the Warriors, so he went under that game. And then he also had 29 just 2 days ago against the Kings. And he's averaging 32 points per game without Simons this season, which is great. His usage the last 3 games without Shaedon. Sorry. His usage in his last 3 games without Shaedon is at 30%, which is elite. And I wanted to show you guys point guards who have 25 or higher usage against the Spurs, because Spurs have been in very advantageous matchup for point guards. And we look at here, Luka had 39, Dame had 40, Trae Young had 45, Curry 35, Bones only played 4 minutes, Fox had 43, Brunson had 25, Halliburton had 23, Schroeder had 24 about a month and a half ago. Point guards have been killing them, and you could make the case for sure that a lot of these guys are better than Simons, because they are. But Simons has been averaging 28 points per game this season. He's no bum. He's averaging 27 points per game. So this line is basically his average, but he's without Shaedon Sharpe and he's without DeAndre Ayton. They're going to be starting Malcolm Brogdon, and Simons is going to get his usage. He's going to get a ton of usage. If this game is down to the wire, he definitely should easily cash this. The spread currently is 4.5 points. So 4.5 point spread for that game, which means that Vegas is expecting a close game. The over-under is 233.5, which is the third highest over-under out of all the games. So Vegas is expecting a good amount of scoring in this game. And you got to think that Simons is going to have a huge handful of that. And let's look at points versus point guards. Spurs are allowing the most points versus point guards in the last 30 days. So literally the best matchup in the league in the last month for point guards. And Simons has been getting very close to this line or going over easily without Shaedon Sharpe. So, I mean, the matchup is there. He's also shooting 48% at home this season. And he's catching a home game. So, just amazing. Averaging 28 in December. I really think this line will get bumped to probably like 28.5 right before tip-off. But yeah, those are two PrizePicks picks that I'm looking at and I'm locking in. And I wanted to talk about some sleeper / chalkboard alt line props for anybody that's on sleeper or chalkboard. I suggest definitely getting on chalkboard. It's a great app. Alt lines are amazing. They're really clutch. You know, you want to avoid those hooks on PrizePicks and avoid those hooks on Underdog. You could take an alt line for a little bit lower and you just get less of a payout, but it's way more safe and it's way better than getting a hook. So I've been loving those. Code ACE. If you use code ACE at checkout for Chalkboard, you get 100% deposit match up to $100, and I give you 2 months of premium for free. So like I'd say half of the guys that are in my premium have gotten premium for like $10 just because they use my code on Chalkboard and they get 2 months for free. So everybody's been doing that a lot. So a few props I wanted to get into. Currently, this one is on Sleeper, is Halliburton over 11.5 assists against the Chicago Bulls. So Halliburton, 11.5 assists. I specifically wanted to get into his road logs because this is a road game for the Pacers. And if you check his splits, he's averaging 11 assists at home and 13 on the road. So 13 assists on the road this season. 12.5 assists in December, whether it's home or road. So he's been hitting this prop pretty consistently. Yeah, we checked the road logs. He's hit this in 7 out of 11 games, averaging 13 assists on the road. We saw Trae Young just have 13 against this same Chicago Bulls team. So Bulls, what they typically like to do is they have Caruso, who's a great defender, and they typically put him on the point guards of the opposing teams to kind of lock him down, and he has been a pretty good defender. And so what does that mean? Point guards are going to have to kick out a lot. You know, Chicago's been blitzing them. They're going to have to pass out a lot. And Halliburton has no problem with doing that. Halliburton has no problem with doing that at all. And actually, Bruce Brown is out of this game. So specifically without Bruce Brown, he's played 2 games without Bruce Brown. He's averaging 12 assists in both of those games. Against Houston, he only had 10 assists, but I believe Houston are allowing the least amount of assists per game to point guards. They are. So against the hardest matchup in the whole league in the last month, he's got 10 assists. And versus the Bulls, they are like a middle of the pack matchup, like top 15 matchup. So I definitely see him getting to at least 12 against the Bulls. And if we look at his potential assists in his 2 games without Bruce Brown, he had 23 potential assists in his last 2 games without Bruce Brown. He made 70 and a half passes per game with 23 potential assists, which is insane. 23 potential assists is insane. And he could have converted on a lot more of those, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm loving that prop. I like that prop a lot. Another prop that I like is Ja Morant under 1.5 threes against the Nuggets. So if we take a look here, he hasn't hit this game in any of his games this season. He attempted 7 threes last game. He only hit 1 against the Pelicans. So he hasn't hit this in any of his games, which I'm not a really hit rate guy. I'm more of a matchup guy and more of a statistic guy. So I wanted to show you guys against the Nuggets. I wanted to show you guys Jamal Murray's. So remember, we liked Kyle Lowry. His 3-point percentage that he allowed was like 40%. And so we're attacking that matchup with Curry threes because that's a great matchup. But on the other hand, Jamal Murray in the month of December has allowed a 29% 3-point percentage, which is the lowest on the Denver Nuggets. That's crazy. 29%. we just saw Curry play this team in Denver, and he went 3 for 13 from 3. So Jamal Murray has done a great job against the three-point line. He's locked it down. Point guards have struggled with threes against them. And John Morant has hit this in any game, so I don't see why he would in a tough matchup in Denver against Jamal Murray, who's allowing a 29% three-point percentage. So he's been great. So I'm liking that prop a lot. Let's look at another prop. On Chalkboard, I also love Steph Curry over 3.5 threes. We took it at 4.5 on PrizePicks, but Chalkboard has alt lines. I was telling you guys about alt lines. Steph Curry 3.5 threes. We're taking it at 4.5 on PrizePicks, so I love 3.5, of course. And then also Simons over 25.5 PR. He's been amazing with that line. 25.5 PR. Look at his logs this season. He's hit that in 6 games in a row. He's hit that in all 3 games without Shaedon Sharpe. And as I said before, no Shaedon, no Ayton. Spurs are allowing the most points, and they are allowing middle of the pack numbers in rebounds, or like top 10 rebounds. But Ayton is out, and Simons had let's check his last game without Ayton. He had, I believe, 11 rebound chances and only converted with 4 rebounds. So I think his floor is about 3 rebounds, 4 rebounds. So I really like adding the PR or the PR part, the rebound part in there, because I think he can get like 3 or 4 rebounds, and then his like peak is like 6 rebounds, just because Spurs are a really bad rebounding team, and without Ayton, he's going to get a lot of potential rebounds. So those are 2 PrizePicks props I like. And on Sleeper and Chalkboard, I love Halliburton over 11.5 assists, Curry over 3.5 threes, Simons over 25.5 PR, and John Morant under 1.5 threes. So I'm gonna start posting more often. I'm gonna start posting picks. We've been in the Discord. We've gone on a 55-17 run, 75%. We killed yesterday with those props. Let's look at December 26th. We went 7-3. Also cashed 2 taco slips in the chat I gave out in the premium chat so everybody could see them. And I also cashed a second half slip, which was, I have a picture of that slip. It was Bane fantasy score and Zion under PRA, which was a sweat because it went to overtime. But luckily, Zion was trash. But yeah, so those are props I like for today. I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.